So this week's lyric reading is for the single, Wither, which is on my new record, Luminarium, dropping next month. You removed me from the masses. How dare you, pander fascists? You scream crime, afraid of time. How little you contribute to the hue. I need to see the green is what you said to me. A business to run, it's your business to run. You'll wither and fade away. All color will turn black and gray. You'll wither, forlorn and frayed. Your grave will be dark and decayed. A canvas displayed for everyone, filled with flowers, a house under sun. I need to see the green is what you said to me. A business to run, it's your business to run. You'll wither and fade away, all color will turn black and gray. You'll wither, forlorn and frayed, your grave will be dark and decayed. Call yourself a vet, more like a pet, an enemy to the progressive. When what you feel is right, while living by gaslight, you will cast blame, but it's you who will wear the shame. Claim contribution, but you're no one. A candle stolen, burning low. The colors fading, yellow and rose, yet you pray to be picked, the chosen one. I need to see the green is what you said to me. A business to run, it's your business to run. You'll wither and fade away. All color will turn black and gray. You'll wither, forlorn and frayed. Your grave will be dark and decayed. So it's wild that I've said this before, that it's so wild to me that I wrote a lot of these lyrics a year to 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and how much they resonate more today than they did then. So I'm really surprised, and I've said this before, like it blows my mind how these songs that I wrote 1.5 to 2 years ago are more relevant today than they were the 1.5, 2 years ago when I wrote them. This song in particular is about looking at someone, a person sitting there speaking up against injustice, systemic racism, corruption, just the propaganda of fascism, all the evil things in America. Having someone sitting there talking to another person, and that other person goes, yeah, I can't deal with that. That's not really my problem. I have a business to run. And so, it's like you have a business to run, and it's your business to run away. That's what they do. These people that are like, I can't acknowledge the systemic racism that's around us every day. I can't engage the fact that there are women and children being arrested and zip-tied naked in the street and thrown in the back of U-Hauls. I can't be bothered with that because, I've got things to do at my business. I've got inventory to do. I can't be bothered to even think about that ever. Not once, ever, because I have a business to run. And ever since 2020, there's been a major societal shift where there are people without wealth who care about where their money goes after it leaves their hands. They want to know that they are contributing to a better society. And then there's people that are like, yeah, no, I don't care about that. That stuff that you're concerned about doesn't affect me. So will you just pay me the money for the thing that I did for you? And that's what this song is about, is having that person who is acknowledging the injustice around them and looking at that other person and going, dude, like, is this what you want your legacy to be? Is this what you want your grandchildren to see? Is this what you want your friends and their grandchildren to see your legacy is? I just can't be bothered with that, even making a single statement ever about anything, I have a business to run. I have money to make. And to me, that's just weird. Yes, we all have jobs. We all have the things we need to do to survive and keep our kids fed and keep them warm in the winter. Like, I get that. And that's all important. And I'm not dismissing or minimizing any of that. But it's also wild and crazy to me to say you want your legacy to be that of ignorance. The ignorance is bliss. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to anything because it doesn't really affect me and won't hurt or make or break my business in any way. So, and the rest of us are sitting here going, it's important to be a pillar for the unheard and to speak out against things that are not all right, and to create places and environments that are safe for people to exist and to be as they are. It is important to speak out against the corrupted and the unjust, and it's just, and so I think a great way to kind of like balance this out from 2.5 years ago to today is old Taylor Swift, man. She's putting out a lot of music, has always put out music that has made BIPOC individuals uncomfortable and made them be like, I don't really want to listen to this. And sure, there's some people that can separate that and be like, whatever, I just want to listen to a good bop. And it's like, cool. No one is saying you can't do that. No one is saying that, T Swift should be canceled. Like, no one is saying any of that. A lot of people are saying that we speak out. We hold these people accountable and say, hey, this is messed up. This thing you did, this thing you said, this, the lack of action, the lack of speaking out is an issue. As someone who's the biggest voice in pop, in a way, the biggest voice in music in general, and they don't have an opinion on anything and make it a point to say, well, I don't say a lot. And it's like, no, yeah, we noticed. And when there is injustices and atrocities and tragedies happening in your reality, in your country, in your state, in your town, and it's like, I just can't speak on that. I'm just a little old pretty and witty pop star, and I just can't say anything about that. I've got a brand to run. I've got a company to run. I've got a $1 billion brand to run. So I can't be bothered with that kind of stuff. Did you see that I donated a bunch to food banks though? That's cool though, right? Because people are hungry, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. There is a fucking genocide happening. And we're not dismissing or minimizing your charitable efforts. But you are far from a fucking philanthropist when you can't be bothered to just say, genocide bad. I don't care what millionaire, billionaire. I don't care what local business it is. You can't be bothered to say, genocide bad? That's wild. And so someone might want to argue about, how many charities does she have to donate to before you accept her? How many politicians does she have to donate to before you accept her? Well, one would be nice. One that's not a fucking big D corporate shill. How many groups does she have to build up before you accept her? And it's like, well, I'm not saying I don't accept her. I'm saying that when you fuck up, you will get called out about it. And when you say nothing about it, says a lot. And your legacy will wither and die if that's the path you want to take. If you can't speak up for the atrocities in the world, that's what you're going to be known as. You're going to be the person that ignored it and said nothing. And in the end, you will wither and fade. And that's what this song's about. It's about the people who are too busy or just can't be bothered, all the way from small business to billionaires. Like, it's all about every single person who can't be bothered to say something like genocide bad and just try to call attention to something and try to organize people for a better world and a better society for everybody. All right. Thanks for listening. Luminarium, out in November.